Here we go.
All right.
Hello, boys.
Are we on?
What's up?
Yep.
What's up?
It's on.
Okay, good. Well, we're on. Welcome to the show, everyone. Today I have a special guest, Lance Mitchell, good friend of mine. This guy got me into music in Juneau back again. Did you realize that I hadn't played for like 20 years when you got me going, Ben?
I'm being that you told me.
Well,
yeah.
Yes. So I hadn't played drums in a long time, and my friend Lance, who I met you at the airport when I was working there at the airport. Remember that?
Yeah, and I was working at Tailwinds.
Right.
Cooking.
So yeah, and so I didn't realize Lance was into music, but somehow that came up, and then you got me getting to play at some of your benefits. Lance, you do a lot of benefits. Tell me about some of the benefits that you do as far as music and stuff.
I've done benefits for Helping Hands. I've done benefits for the Glory Hall. I've done benefits for people personally that are going through some hard times. I've done a lot of benefits. And as the older I get senile, so I don't remember all of them.
That's so, yeah, but I have to thank you because now for me, music is like how I breathe. Exactly. That's the way to say it, and I've never heard it said like that, but that's perfect. Like, I look forward to the weeks that I get to go play. It just makes me feel like a regular person and just chill.
That's what music does. I mean, I've gone through some negative points in my life, and I've had music, and music has always takes me out of what I'm in or going through. If I can just focus on the music, whether it's I'm singing shitty or I'm singing
right
bad, as long as I can keep singing, the music generates it. It fills my soul with the energy.
Another thing that I think that you and I have in common is cooking. And
yes.
What is it that you've made today? It's in the oven.
Okay.
Here. Talk about this a little bit, if you would.
Now the pressure's on.
I have made coq au vin.
Oh, I like it.
Let's bring it out and take a look and just describe to us what this is and what you've created here.
This is coq au vin. Well,
this is a classic French dish.
Well, Lance is lazy and doesn't like dishes. So he bought this pan to cook this in. Well, coq au vin is a burgundy chicken, and the way you prepare coq au vin is with salt pork. Take the salt pork, you put it in a pan, and you fry it for 10 minutes. Then it leaves the oil. With that oil, the chicken is breaded with flour. You take that and then you fry it in the salt pork oil. It's got carrots, onions, thyme, bay leaf, and salt and pepper on the chicken. So this one has marinated overnight in the Pinot Noir.
That's how I talk.
Red wine, right?
And the red wine. And so, after you let it marinate all night, then you take it and you let it cook off in the oven. And it'll cook off the alcohol, but it's already got that wine taste that's been in it.
Should we take a look?
Yeah, let's take a look at that. That looks like the broth, and
delicious.
that just looks awesome. And yeah, so traditionally, I think they made this with an actual rooster, which is why it's the cock, and the marinade and the long cook and stuff like that made that traditionally tough flesh become much more enjoyable. So
I did not know that.
that's what I know, but I don't know how to cook it. So that's pretty cool.
One last thing.
Yeah.
Once you have cooked it, I will cook it for an hour at 350. Once you cook it, then you take some flour and you put it in there with some butter and stir it around to thicken the sauce. The sauce.
Thicken the sauce.
And that's it.
Yep.
Nice.
Dog action going on out there.
That's fine.
Yeah, so I asked in my
Can
video.
you turn that light off, please?
I sure can.
Thank you.
Just like that. So in my post on the other day, I said, what goes with coq au vin? Not knowing, not speaking French. I don't speak French. I don't really even speak Spanish very well. I've gotten thrown out of a couple of stores for attempting Spanish in Spanish-speaking countries, and they're like, dude, get your high school Spanish out of here. So I don't speak any other languages. Coq au vin is the best pronunciation I can do. I know it's wrong.
Coq au vin.
Coq au vin. Thank you. There we go.
See, I'm a student of Google.
I should be too.
I don't speak French.
I should be too. But there is some pronunciation that everyone had for these green beans, and I'm just going to call them green beans. So that's what I'm doing today. May I please turn this light back on?
Yes.
If you stood over here, whatever.
No, you got
Sure.
to show that beautiful bruschetta over there.
Oh.
Yeah, so we do have a couple of...
That beautiful bruschetta over there is amazing.
So that's baguettes. Now there's no yeast in Juneau these days. So I did not make these. I actually bought the baguette, but then I did make the bruschetta on top, on the front of the bread. This is the back, this is the front.
Okay, we get it.
So I put on some tomatoes, some onion, some garlic, some olive, basil, oregano, pepper, a little bit of salt. Fried that a little bit to reduce it down just a bit. Slathered that on top. Put a little fresh fresh grated Parmesan on the top, and baked that 350 for about 20 minutes. And then I did not make the cheese. I did not make the meat. I did not make the whatever.
But here's my wine.
But
Okay.
there's Alexa's wine. And so we're going for some together here. Now to the green beans, and we will be turning on this light here. And we're doing this. So first I'm going to kind of sort of get these guys out here. And next one thing I want to do here is I'm going to put a little bit of, not too much, but a
No,
wee
right here,
bit of
right here.
salt.
There we go. Perfect.
Some onions. These are finely chopped onion here. Going to go on a little bit there. A little bit more of these green beans here with a little bit more salt on there. I don't want them too salty, but at the same time, I want some taste to that. You know what I'm saying? Like a little bit. Here's some pepper that's going on here. Take a few more. And now, got some olive oil here. I'm going to go on the olive oil. There's a little bit of olive oil on the bottom too. And then next thing I'm going to do here is I got some balsamic glaze. I don't know if this is right or not, but it just seemed like a good idea. So a little bit of balsamic glaze right on top there. And I think that's it. That's all. Maybe I'm do a little bit more of this. Kind of get that in there a little bit. Quick hand wash here. And then into the oven, that's going to go just like that. So I don't know how that's going to come out. Unfortunately, due to time constraints today, we will be taking pictures of these things when they're done. So we don't have a whole lot of onion room, and yeah, it just fell over. So onion room. But you know what? Sometimes when you're a chef, these things happen, and you just have to make it work. You know what I'm saying? So there we go. So that's going to be in there. It'll be in there for about probably 15 to 20 minutes. Couple more things I wanted to ask you, Lance.
I'll have some questions for you as well.
Yeah. Okay. So what got you interested in cooking?
I like to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Food.
Me too. That's really what got me into it too. Seriously, Lance, on a serious note, I think people know that this is not my full-time job. That I only do this once in a while. That my really full-time job is I'm a cop.
Oh. Oh, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
I know that.
If you could tell cops 3 things that they could do better to try to meet the needs of all of us, all of us people, black, white, native. It doesn't have to be 3, but what are a couple things that you can think of that we could just do a better job at?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know what to tell people how to be a better cop because I'm not a cop. But if I was, I'd be a corrupt cop. Where's the money at?
You've got stuff for me, so ask me questions.
I know you're a good cop. You're a good cop. You treat people fairly. You treat people with respect. And that's the consensus of most of the people.
Well, I think that that's probably good stuff to start with right there, is to treat people as, like, I always think of, like, if the cops were coming to my house, how would I want them to show up? You know, how would I want them to talk to me and talk to my wife, talk to my kids, things like that. So.
And I don't know. I mean, with the cops that are in the Lower 48, they have. I mean, it's rough down there. You know, it's rough. And I think that the Juneau cops, I mean, don't operate this. I mean, they're not as. I definitely have to stand up for them. They came to the meetings that we had downtown, and they came and they supported us, and if not
The Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter, and then they came
gatherings.
from the other gathering.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
you know, I wouldn't classify them as the same class as the ones down south.
Well,
I'm sure
thank you.
everybody's gonna have problems with what I say, but you know, that's how I feel. You know, they're a lot better cops up here than down south.
Well, thank you for that. You said you had questions for me.
Ah.
You can ask me anything, man. I just asked you.
Now, when they put the money away, and
It's
the
locked up.
police,
Oh, it's
where? No, I'm okay.
It's
I'm just
locked
joking.
up.
I'm really joking. But yeah, you're in the music. When did you start being involved in
I
music?
played. I started playing in high school, and then I went to college, and I played in college, and then after that, I just kind of stopped. And I had kids, and I didn't have room in my house. You can see my living room over there is small. There is a carpet there because sometimes I do bring my drums, but they sit in my living room, and my wife doesn't like that very much. But
She not
now,
like you?
but now I got back in, and totally excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been playing off and on for, I don't know, 30 years maybe.
I was trying to get you into another band, wasn't I?
Yeah, you wanted me to show up for a metal gig, and chicks don't dig metal, man.
Yes, they do.
Okay, some of them do. Yeah, I play in the reggae. I play in the high fives now, and chicks dig the high fives. So that's where I'm at.
That's where you're at.
Yeah.
You're in the reggae zone. Okay. What made you become a police officer?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it was because I wanted to do something that changed, that it wasn't the same all the time, and I wanted to be something where I wasn't in the same workspace all the time, and go over here, go over there, go do this, go do that. That's what probably attracted me to it. But later on in my life, that's probably something that doesn't attract me to it anymore. But what does attract me to it is is trying to do better and trying to do the best I can for people, and trying to treat people fairly, and trying to, even when a bad situation comes up and I come to deal with it, trying to have people, it's not going to be great when I walk away, but at least they're going to feel better when I walk away. And the first thing I always try to do is try to tell people, look, I don't know what's going on right now, but it's going to be okay.
I got this is my last question. You being a cop, you get to see the ugliness of people, the full board, and especially being a detective, you get to see the most negative aspects of humanity. And when you come home, how do you transcend from that?
Yeah, I probably don't do that as much as I could, to be honest with you. Like, that's really difficult, and if there's one thing, well, there's many things, but that's hard for a lot of people, and it's hard for me. I think Alexa would probably agree that that's been hard for me from time to time, and that's really the question. And the answer is,
Tequila?
well, that happens to a lot of people. That it's easy to try to do that, but that doesn't fix anything. You know what I mean? That just prolongs stuff. And, so I think we're probably doing what we're doing now, in music, and that's kind of where we started, and that's what we're coming back to. And that's when I said, it's the way you said breathe, and I said I come back and let me breathe. I think that's been a big help for me, and so that's why I thank you so much for helping me get back into the music biz here in Juneau.
My pleasure, man. I'm glad you
I'm glad you asked that question. Actually, that's a really big question. So yeah, thank you. thank you for being on our show today or tuning in
Thanks.
or whatever. Lance, thank you. It's Lance's birthday coming up here pretty soon. If you have a charity that you want to donate to in honor of Lance's birthday on June 21st, do so. Helping Hands, the Glory Hall, and thank you, everyone.